If you woke up invisible, the first thing you might do is run to a mirror. For 1 second, it would feel like impossible freedom, no reflection, no outline, no proof that you are standing there at all. Then the stranger problem would appear. If light can pass through your body, it can pass through your eyes too. And if your eyes cannot catch light, they cannot send an image to your brain. That is the hidden problem with invisibility. It sounds like a power over other people's eyes, but it is really a power over light. Most people imagine invisibility as if the body becomes clear, like glass. But glass is not invisible. You can see glass because it bends light, reflects a little light, and changes the image behind it. A human body is far messier than glass. Skin, blood, fat, muscle, bone, water, proteins, and tiny cell boundaries all absorb, scatter, and bend light in different ways. That is why you are visible in the first place. Light hits your body, changes direction, changes color, or gets partly swallowed, and some of that changed light reaches someone else's eyes. So for a body to disappear, the power would have to stop your tissues from scattering light, stop pigments from absorbing light, and stop your body from bending the background into a distorted shimmer. Biomedical optics researcher Jacques described biological tissue in terms of absorption, scattering, and refractive index. In plain English, your body is full of tiny optical mismatches. Light does not glide through you cleanly because every layer is a different kind of obstacle. Scientists can sometimes reduce that problem in the lab. Tissue clearing methods try to make different parts of tissue optically more similar, so light scatters less. In 2024, Zhao and colleagues showed that an absorbing dye could make some living mouse tissues more transparent for imaging. But that is not a walking invisible person. It is local, controlled transparency, useful for looking into tissue. A whole human would need every living system to keep working while also behaving as if it was barely there. And then you reach the eye. The front of your eye is already partly transparent. The cornea and lens let light pass through and they bend it so the image can land in the right place. But the back of your eye must do the opposite. Your retina has to absorb photons. Scientists call the first step phototransduction, which means caught light is converted into an electrical signal your nervous system can use. Inside rods and cones, light changes photopigments. That tiny molecular event begins the signal that eventually becomes brightness, color, shape, motion, and the room around you. So imagine making the retina perfectly invisible. Photons arrive, but nothing catches them. They pass through like sunlight through a window with no screen, no sensor, no film. The image never becomes a signal. That is why the simple version of invisibility breaks vision. A camera sensor cannot record an image if it becomes perfectly transparent. Your retina has the same problem, only alive. There is another dark layer behind the retina too. The retinal pigment epithelium, or RPE, is full of pigment, and one of its jobs is to absorb scattered light so the image stays clean. Even your eye's darkness is part of how it sees. At this point, you might think, fine, leave the eyes alone. Make the body invisible, but keep the retina working. That would help you see, but it would break the fantasy. If the eyes still absorb visible light, they still have an optical signature. You may not see skin, arms, or a face, but two dark sensing structures could remain, like the old joke of floating eyeballs in an empty room. Nature runs into this problem too. Transparent animals exist, especially in water, where body tissues and the surrounding environment are optically closer. But even animals that become hard to see have to deal with eyes, blood, and guts because those parts must absorb or move light to function. Glass frogs are a beautiful example. Carlos Taboada, Jesse Delia, and colleagues showed that resting glass frogs can hide nearly 90% of their red blood cells inside the liver, making them much more transparent while they sleep. That is not magic. It is a trade-off. Blood is useful because it carries oxygen, but blood is also visually loud, so the frog hides it when being still matters more than moving fast. The glasswing butterfly solves a different piece of the puzzle. Its transparent wings have tiny irregular nanopillars that reduce reflection, so the wings do not flash like ordinary transparent surfaces. But a wing is thin. It does not need to pump blood, digest food, repair muscle, grow bone, focus an image, or power a brain. Maybe a superpower could avoid transparency entirely. Instead of making light pass through you, it could bend light around you. This is closer to what physicists call transformation optics. The idea is to guide electromagnetic waves around a region so, from the outside, the waves look as if nothing was ever there. Real cloaking experiments are fascinating, but they are not comic book invisibility. Many work only for certain wavelengths, certain directions, certain sizes, or controlled backgrounds. And even if you had one, the eye problem returns in a new form. If light is guided around your whole body, then outside light may also be guided around your eyes. You would be hidden inside a bubble that protects you from being seen, but also protects you from seeing. To fix that, the cloak would need a cheat. A tiny opening, a sensor, a camera system. Some way to let information in without letting your body give information out. But now, the power is no longer simple invisibility. It is a moving optical machine pretending to be empty space. And the deeper question becomes, what counts as you? If your skin disappears but your clothes do not, you are not invisible. You are a floating outfit. If your clothes disappear but dust lands on you, rain outlines you, or sweat beads on your skin, the world starts drawing your body back in. If you eat, does the food vanish too? If not, your stomach becomes a strange little display case. If it does vanish, the power is not just changing your body, it is deciding which objects count as part of you. Even perfect visible light invisibility would not make you undetectable. You would still make sound. You would still move air, leave footprints, touch surfaces, carry smells, block wind, and warm the space around you. Heat is its own problem. Human bodies lose heat through radiation, evaporation, conduction, and convection. Hiding from eyes is not the same as hiding from thermal cameras, and hiding from thermal cameras may interfere with staying cool. So normal life would become weirdly physical. You could be unseen, but not absent. You could not glance down and see your hand reach for a glass. You could still feel where your hand is because your body has proprioception, the inner sense of position, but you would lose the visual confirmation that makes fine movement easy. Typing, shaving, tying shoes, picking up a key, stepping through clutter, or checking whether you are hurt would all become harder. The mirror would stop being a mirror of you. Photos would not hold you. Eye contact would vanish. Other people could hear your voice, but not read your face, your posture, or the ordinary signs that say, "I am here." That is the emotional trap of invisibility. The fantasy is that no one can see you. The cost is that the world stops giving you back the image of yourself. So the real question is not just, could you disappear? It is, how much contact with light are you willing to lose? Because visibility is not a mistake your body makes. It is part of how your body exchanges information with the world. To be seen, light must touch you. To see, light must touch you too. And if you became perfectly invisible, you might not become a ghost. You might become the one thing your eyes can no longer find.